Hello there, how you doing? Wee Paddy from across the shop. And I'm just doing a wee bit of EDC maintenance. So I thought I'll throw a video up and do what they call, was it this vlog they call it? Anyway, this is my EDC maintenance. As you know, I got the Bullnose, the 71 yesterday. I think I kept calling it the Bull Buster, but it's the Bullnose. I knew that, I'm just a wee bit thick. But anyway, I have already used it. I'll show you it afterward. My blade's already stained. I had a steak last night and it got used and it was amazing. Why did nobody tell me about these? Well, that's why I couldn't get them. This is an amazing knife. There's a review coming. Oh, excuse me. Heads up, it's going to be amazing because it's just such a comfortable knife to use. So I'm putting a new edge on it. There was nothing wrong with the edge when it came on. It was sharp enough, but I just like to have an edge on myself. And I normally, when I hand sharpen, it's normally between about 17, 18, gone down even to, lower. I've started to bring the edges up a wee bit just to get a bit more longevity. So I've measured this and it's about 18 degrees roughly. And how I measure that is I bought myself one of these wee testers and I just set it on there, and because there isn't a really great flat surface in this, I just roughly set it on top like that, get the edge and then check the other side to make sure that they're both even, that it's sitting in the clamp evenly, and it was. So I've already done the first go at sharpening. So I've got my apex, I've sharpened till I got my apex, till I get a burr on the other side, switched over, and I've done that twice now, so I'm quite happy. And that was with the 320. And this is on the wee Work Sharp fixed angle. Cost 50 quid. Highly recommend it. If you're not a sharpener, this is the business. I just didn't want to go through the long process. But what I've also got is one of the erasers that you use for, I use them for my, especially my 1095 to 1075, all the carbon steels. I also use it for these, just to clean them after use. It just lifts the filings off them really well and it keeps it nice and clean. So I'm now going to go to the 600, which I hadn't cleaned. I don't know whether you'll see that or not, but anyway, I'm going to put that on the 600 and it just takes all the metal filings off it. And we'll give this a go and we'll raise the burr on the other side. Need to change that over. So just set it down, hold the top light as you like, and then start sharpening. And again, all we're going to do is refine the grain structure on this side so that it smoothens it out and gives us a much more sharp edge on the knife. And at 600, with this 600, well, I think this is sort of, I don't think it's 600. I think it's probably a bit higher, maybe 800. But anyhow, it's good enough, and you could stop at this. You don't need to go to the ceramic if you don't want to. If you just want a work knife, and I know the Bullnose is a work knife, but as you all know, I'm retired, so I don't do a lot of hard work. So I just want it as sharp as I can get it, and I use it for everyday use as well as my steak. The one thing that I'm gonna, oh, that will not do any good. The one thing I'm going to tell you is always remember to check that you've got clearance here, because there isn't, it's not a big long rod, it's not up high, so you must make sure that there's no clearance, i.e. you're not sharpening the metal on the device. And on the smaller knives, it can affect what sort of an angle you get. Some of my smaller knives have had to go over 20 when I'm redoing it on this, but that's okay. That's okay. This is between 18 and 19, which will be fine. And I'm a good enough freehand sharpener because I spent hours learning that no matter what the angle is, I can pick it up and do it when I just want to give it a wee quick, just a wee quick top up at the end of the day if I've heavy used it and I just want to put that crisp edge back on. And to be honest, what I'm using now, I'm using my slip joints every day now. So I've got the Spyderco. This is the big one. It's quite expensive. It's about £100 when I bought it, but it's the Spyderco ceramic. It's probably about a 2000 grit. I think that's what they say. So each day at the end of the day, if a strop isn't going to bring my blade back, I'll just put it on that, and it takes less metal off. And if you're going to use your knives, the least amount of metal you take off, the better. So that's why I like, when I get a new knife, I like to put it on, get an angle that's even on both sides, because sometimes a knife can be as sharp as you like, but the angles are not great, and that you fall foul of that when you try to hand sharpen and follow an angle. So when I do it on here, I know that when I've finished this, it will be a really even bevel on both sides. Well, that's what I'm hoping for. And you do an awful lot of that by, well, I do an awful lot of that by eye too. I mean, you can see the size of your bevel as you're doing it. And you can use markers and all that. And all I'm using is the edge of my nail to find out that the burr is over there. So I'm going to take it over this side, and the burr is now raised up on this side, and I'm going to smooth it off nice and gently. I am not putting any pressure whatsoever on this. These diamond stones are amazing. They take, not all diamond stones, but some are better than others, but these ones seem pretty good. And what they do, they work, and if you just hold it and let it go up and down, nice big strokes, as big as strokes as you can remember to do, because we all tend to do wee tiny ones. Do nice big strokes and your stones will last you longer. And this is more for somebody that's probably about a bit, but if you've never had a fixed angle sharpener, they are an amazingly easy way to get that great angle without having any skill other than being able to move a little rod up and down, because it does it all for you. This is adjustable little knob here, and you can move this up from 15 to 30, which is all you're ever going to need. So I would say that'll not be, I try to do it the same amount of time on each side, and then the last one, the last couple of strokes that you'll do is just removing the final burr. But I would say that's probably, I like to get that wee tip. So you can hear that? I hope you can hear it. It's there, it's burred. So take it over the other side, and now I'm going to start with just doing it one way. I'm lifting off, back on, one way. And again, that just gets that grain structure all going in the same direction. And you know, and I like this because, especially because I'm going to do ceramic, I want to get a really nice smooth edge. Now, I'm not going for a mirror polish, but you don't have to do much in this to get a really good polish. It mightn't be sort of, you know, some great high standard mirror polish, but it's good enough for me. As long as it's shiny and it cuts, I really don't care. So, like, just have a wee feel there. So you can feel already a little tiny burr on the other side. Oh, that's why, because I was using a 600 plonker. So there's the 600. That's it finished now. And here's the white ceramic. And I left this dirty because, I don't know, can you see that? I'm sure you can. It's dirty. So the eraser goes on here, and all it's doing is lifting, because even the ceramic lifts metal, and all that you're seeing now is just the little metal filings and dirt that's sitting on top there. Take the little cloth, give it a wipe, and you can repeat until it's really spotless if you like. And I would use Jif powder, powdered bleach, and put it on it if I want to bring it up to, you know, to give it a really good clean. But this is fine for now. It takes all the filings off. So what I'm going to do now is just go back and forward with the ceramic. I'll do this once or twice just to give it a nice angle of the dangle. Take away any little burr. Well, I'm reducing the burr. The last few strokes normally will take it away. And you just push the back of this, and then you can turn it over. It's a great system, honestly. For 50 quid, I just think, how can you go wrong? I mean, I can get a knife as sharp on this as any other tool that I've used. with next to no effort whatsoever. And some of the other sharpening systems, you know, it can take you a blooming hour just to sharpen a knife. This only gives you 3 options of sharpening stone. And to be honest, I think that's a good thing, because we don't need this super, unless you're going to show your knives. That's completely different. If it's a show knife you want, by all means get the big expensive one. But if it's a working knife, this is just fantastic. And then learn to freehand and just stick it on a wee ceramic stone at the end of the night and just redo it. So we'll do that again. I know this takes a bit of time, but there isn't a fast way of doing something like this. You have to just show it. And I just really want to show people how easy it is with this little system to get a new knife for your EDC rotation, give it a nice edge that's going to work straight away, and then it's easy to maintain. And you can do this at any stage of the knife's life. You know, after you've stropped it a lot of times and you're finding it hard to get that edge again, even with a ceramic, just put it back on here, redo the edge. That's all you're going to do, is just redo the edge at the angle you want it on. Now, so what I'm now going to start to do is one way. And I could feel a burr up at the top here. You can actually sometimes feel a little burr coming off. And I just like to do this all the one way. One, if you look at it under a microscope, it's all nice. It's all going the same way, which just makes it a really nice crisp edge. And I can see the edge starting to come now, starting to take shape. Turn it over and do the other side. But this Bullbuster, I was going to do it again. No, it is a Bullnose, not a Bullbuster. The Bullnose is an amazing knife. I suppose I do know why GCE don't make so many of them, but because they're an absolutely stunning knife. There is nothing really that this knife can't do. This is a main EDC carry for me. I wouldn't need a secondary knife other than the fact then that I'm a knife obsessed lunatic. But it really is a beautiful, beautiful knife, beautifully balanced, a blade that can do anything you want, or anything I want on my EDC journey day. Really just stunning. So I'm now going to start being a bit pernickety and just doing a couple of long strokes. And starting winding down now. It's nearly done and I should have a sharp edge. I don't know where you can see it. You can see, I mean, these little ceramic stones, they do remove blade material, but not very much. It's really just so powdery. It's so small that it takes it off. And that's why if you can use this, rather than getting a diamond stone out to just top your blade up, if you can learn to freehand and use a ceramic sharpener, it really does save your blade being cut away to nothing, especially if you are a heavy user too. And we're nearly there. This will do it now, last pass. And let's see what this is like. So, well, you just pull that out of there, get your hands out of the way and undo this. There's your knife. Absolutely, you can see now I've already started using it. I don't know whether you can see it. It's got plenty of nice heat use because I had a steak last night with it. That was me and not the knife. So you can see it's just razor sharp. And it took, 10 minutes realistically, if I'm not talking, it takes 10 minutes to put a really good working edge on the knife, right the way down the knife. It's just an amazing little system. I really recommend it to anybody. I'm happy with that. I don't know whether I'm going to put it up and I'm going to I hope you can see the edge on it. There's a really good polished edge. Is it mirror polished? Probably not. But it's a good edge for a working knife. And this knife, I can't tell you how comfortable this knife. I love the bulbous. You know what I'm like from a bulbous end. I love the bulbous end. It really is. I'm going to enjoy this for about a week in my hand without using anything else. I just love it. Really do. Really, really like it. Still carry a secondary knife to put pictures up on Instagram. But this you can guarantee will be used all week. Lovely knife. So this costs 50 quid. Definitely worth it. You can get cheaper ceramic stones. You don't have to go out and buy this big thing for 100. A cheap ceramic stone. You can even use this ceramic stone. In fact, there you go. There's your answer. Use that at the end of the night. Just do a couple of freehand passes. It'll bring your edge back. Not a problem. You don't even have to invest in that. And that will make that system even more pay for itself. I recommend one of those just for cleaning. I'm going to do this now again. I've finished with it. Mine really does need sort of a thorough one at the minute because I've been using this quite a lot, this wee thing. I've added quite a few new knives recently, but I like to run my fingers. Lovely and smooth. There you go, folks. And this wee thing, this cost me under £10 on Amazon delivered. And it's a great wee level. Checking your levels. You can use it for anything. So there you go. Paddy's away. EDC knife. Sharp, ready. And there's no problem. If you want to use that ceramic, just to put a wee edge back on it. And it'll last you for weeks and weeks without sharpening it. Unless you're a very heavy user. But the Bullnose, I'm absolutely in love with. Highly recommend it before I even do the video. It is GEC, so it's going to be good, but it's much better than I thought it was. So there you go. And I'm actually going to start using my other patterns. I have other sodbuster patterns that I've never really used. I've had them in my collection and they feel good, but I tend to go for something fancy. This is going to change my attitude to sodbusters as a user. So there you go. Right, Paddy's gone. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for all those enters the competition. I'll probably let that run for about 5 days to 7 days, and then I'll do the draw for it. All the very best. Bye now.